Let us look at our first problem under dynamic programming paradigm. It is minimum operations. So if you see here we are given a number n. We have to find the minimum number of operations that are required to reach n starting from 0. And you have two operations available, double the number, add 1 to the number. And these operations you can do any number of times. So let's look at another variant of this question. So here we have this question. Given an integer n, the task is to obtain n starting from 1, using minimum number of operations. The operations that can be performed in one step are as follows. Multiply the number by 2, multiply the number by 3, add 1 to the number. So it is a kind of problem where you can get any number of operations. So we will see the generalized approach to solve any problem of such type. So let's try to make a function for this. So t of n is equals to 1 plus minimum of, because we have to find the minimum number of operations, t of n by 2, comma, t of n by 3, comma, t of n minus 1. So this is the function. We can look it with an example. For example, n is equals to 6. If we take, so f of 6 will be divided into 3 parts. 1 plus minimum of what? T of n by 2. T of 6 by 2 is 3. T of 6 by 3 is 2. T of 6 minus 1 is 5. Now again for T of 3, that will be minimum of 1 plus T of 3 by 2. 3 is not divisible by 2, so we will not consider this. Then T of 3 by 3, and then T of 3 minus 1, that is 2. Now again we will be doing computations for all the subproblems. So if you look carefully, we will see that there are some overlapping subproblems that we are computing again and again. For a bigger number inside this function, there will be many computations, recomputations of these subproblems. So with DP, what we can do is we can store these computations such that once this computation is done, the second time this computation is required, we directly get it from the DP stored value. So let's try to visualize it now. So for n is equals to 6 only, what I will do right now is I will take a DP. So 1, 3, 5, and 6. Okay. Now let's look at it. For getting the 1, for getting 1, how many operations do we require? We require only 0 operations. 0, I'm not putting anything. It is not necessary to put anything here. So we are iterating from left to right, 2 to 6. For let's calculate for 2. So dp of 2 will be, let's write it, f of is equals to 1 plus minimum of f of 2 by 3, comma f of 2 by 2, comma f of 2 minus 1. This was the recursive function above, right? So 1 plus minimum of f of 2 by 3, we won't calculate because 2 is not divisible by 3, f of 1, comma f of 1. So 1 plus f of 1. What is f of 1? F of 1 here is 0. So 1 plus 0 is equals to 1. What that means is to get the value 2 starting from 1, we only require one operation. Let's similarly calculate for f of 3. F of 3 is equals to 1 plus minimum of f of 3 by 3, comma f of 3 by 2, comma f of 3 minus 1. This will be 1 plus minimum of f of 1, comma f of 3 by 2 we won't calculate because 3 is not divisible by 2. F of 3 minus 1 is, so it is calculating 1 plus minimum of f of 1 comma f of 2. 1 is 0 and f of 2 is 1. So 0 comma 1 is equals to 1 plus 0 is equals to. So that means to get the value 3 starting from 1, we only require one operation. What is that operation? We will multiply the number by 3, right? Let's calculate for 4. 1 plus minimum of f of 4 by 3 comma f of 4 by 2 comma f of 4 minus 1 is equals to 1 plus minimum of 4 by 3. We won't calculate, 4 is not divisible by 3. So directly f of 2 comma f of 3. So is equals to 1 plus minimum of, what is f of 2? F of 2 is 1, f of 3 is also 1. So 1 comma 1 is equals to 1 plus 1 is equals to, so f of 4 is 2. So for getting 4 starting from 1, we only require two operations. Let's calculate similarly for f of 5. F of 5 is equals to 1 plus minimum of f of 5 by 3 comma f of 5 by 2 comma f of 5 minus 1 is equals to 1 plus minimum of f of 5 by 3. We won't calculate, 5 is not divisible by 3, 5 is not divisible by 2, so directly f of 4. So it is 1 plus, what is f of 4? F of 4 is 2. 2 is equals to 3. So for getting number 5, um, how many operations do we require? 3 operations we require starting from 1. Now let's see for f of 6. The final number 1 plus minimum of f of 6 by 3 comma f of 6 by 2 comma f of 6 minus 1 is equals to 1 plus minimum of f of 2 comma f of 3 comma f of 5. Now let's get this. What is f of 2, 3 and 5? F of 2 is 1, f of 3 is 1 and f of 5 is 3. So minimum of 1 comma 1 comma 3 is equals to 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. So for getting 6 starting from 1, we require how many operations? We require 2 operations. What can be those operations? Can divide the number by 3, so we will get, we could have incremented it by 1. So from here, so for example, if we start from 1, we could have incremented the number by 1. We would have, uh, we will get 2, and then multiplying that number by 3, we will get 6. So only 2 operations are required at minimum to make the number 6. So this was our approach. So what we did is we stored all the decomputation values inside a DP. We did iteration from sub-problems to the bigger problem and optimize the solution. What is the time complexity and space complexity analysis for this algorithm? Let's look at this. So what is the space complexity? Let's look at this. So here we took an array of n plus 1 elements. So what is the space complexity? Space complexity is going to be order of n, right? Let's look at the algorithm also. Um, here on the left hand side, if we see the C++ code, so int main function, int n is equals to 15, cout min operations n. Here we are calling the min operations function. Here we have declared a dp of n plus 1 size. We are initializing the d of 1 is equals to 0 because we are starting from 1, and for getting 1 we require only 0 operation. Then we are iterating from the next number till the n. And what we are doing is we are first of all initializing that to the int underscore max so as to get the minimum out of these 3 computations. So what we are doing for the first computation, we are checking if the number is divisible by 2, we will check the stored value, add 1 to that, and if that is smaller than dp of I, we will just update it. Similarly, if for the multiplication by 3, we are checking if I is divisible by 3, then what we are doing is we are getting the value of I by 3 from the DP, and then we are adding 1 to that and checking if that is less than DP of I, we will update that. So what we are doing here in these three operations is similar to what we were doing on the right by writing this function 1 plus minimum of T of n by 2, comma T of n by 3, comma T of n minus. So, and for the time complexity, if we see, so for a particular, so what we are doing is we are iterating for n numbers from 2 to n. So we are iterating for n, and for every time we are doing a constant time operation. So for example, if I modulus 2 is equals to 0, inside this also we are doing a constant operation. This is also a constant operation. Then this also is a constant operation. So the time complexity is going to be also order of n only.